People fall in love, confess, and get together. No matter who you ask, everyone would agree that that is a wonderful thing.
But that is wrong! There is a clearly defined relationship of power between two lovers. The one who controls and the one who is controlled. The one who obeys and the one who is obeyed. There is a winner and a loser. If you aspire for something higher than your position, then you will undoubtedly become the loser. Love is war. And the one who falls in love loses! Shuchin Private Academy, an incredibly prestigious academy, originally established to educate the children of nobles and samurai. In modern times, now that the aristocracy no longer exists, its students are the children of wealthy families, who will go on to become the new leaders of Japan. And the ones who lead them cannot, by any meaning of the word, be referred to as ordinary people.
It's the student council!
Shuchin Academy Vice President, Kaguya-Sama. Her family assets total 200 trillion yen. Trains, banks, cars, with easily over 1,000 child companies. The Shinomiya group is counted among the big four Zaibatsu, and she is the daughter of Ganon Shinomiya, the leader of the entire group. And as befits one with such a distinguished lineage, she excels in theater, music, martial arts, and countless other subjects. A true genius. That is Kaguya Shinomiya. And he is the man she supports. Shuchin Academy President, Miyuki Shirogane. A man of unparalleled wisdom and intellect, constantly taking first place in mock examinations. A genius among geniuses, the top scorer in the entire country. In contrast to the multi-talented Kaguya, he focuses all his efforts on studying to a fearsome degree, which, along with his exemplary behavior, has earned him the role of Student Council President. He bears the weight of the augulate passed down through 200 years of presidents on his shoulders.
They look so perfect together.
Yeah, it's like they're even more noble and elegant when they're together.
Do you think they're dating?
What? I'd be shocked.
What do you think they talk about all alone in the student council room?
Have you heard? It seems a rumor is going around that the two of us are in a relationship.
Again? How many times has it been now? They're just at that age. Pay them no mind.
Indeed. But even so, one can't help but pay it a little mind.
Me dating a girl? As if I would waste my precious time on tripe like that. But, well, I suppose if Shinomiya were to ask me to go out with her, it wouldn't be completely out of the question. Well, I already know that Shinomiya likes me. It's only a matter of time before she confesses. Will she tell me directly? Will she deliver a love letter? I'm sure either way it'll be quite the sight to behold.
Really now? That simple fool. Just who does he think I am? I am a Shinomiya, the heart and soul of Japan. Would an earthworm be fit to date a dragon? Well, I suppose that for an earthworm, he may have promise. Worry to get on his knees and beg, and have the qualities of nobility instilled into him. Then perhaps, even though he hasn't been trained in the slightest for marriage, well, no man exists who wouldn't fall for me. It's only a matter of time.
And thus, half a year has passed, and during that time, nothing of note has happened.
Some time ago, a member of my staff became mad when I played a prank on her. But just the other day, playing the same prank as a birthday surprise resulted in her being happy. How cute, don't you agree?
I once made a hobby of collecting stones that look nice, but what would happen if I were to bring large rocks into my house at my current age? I even bought some at a nearby cavern once.
With no progress made, their feelings have shifted from
Going out with you would be acceptable.
to
I will make you confess to me.
and completely oblivious to the high-stakes war being waged in the minds of the Student Council is their secretary, Chika Fujiwara.
I made some coffee.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Here you go, President. President, you finally got a smartphone?
So it would seem.
But you were so stubborn. You always said, I don't need one, or I have no intention of mingling with those around me. So why would you suddenly change your mind? Welcome to modern civilization.
Please don't talk to people like they're some sort of primitive beings. Look, I even have lines set up.
Wow, then let's exchange IDs.
Alright.
The world is in a generation of technology. While Shirogane had firmly believed that a smartphone was unnecessary, the lowering cost of communication has finally convinced him to change his mind. He had finally realized how essential a smartphone was for high school life. Using a phone, one can make arrangements to meet or simple idle talk. One can easily become nervous when worrying about the right tone to use. An entire gamut of emotions can be run while waiting for a reply. In theory, even confessions of love can be made over the phone. Yes, the reason for these uneventful 6 months was that he had never used Line. In this day and age, the ritual of exchanging contact information is an act of love.
Now, ask me for my ID, Shinomiya. Why aren't you asking? It's my personal information. It should absolutely be worth something to you. Can she really not tell how valuable this is? Then there's nothing I can do. Maybe I should ask her then. But if I do that...
Asking a member of the opposite gender for their contact information, when the possible desperation of ulterior motives in such an action are considered, a special meaning is given form. And that meaning is love! If an ordinary person were to simply ask
what?
for another's contact information, it would be an admission of love. And in matters of love, the absolute rule is that the one who falls in love loses. Put simply, the one who confesses their love becomes the loser. And the pride of these two is so great that neither of them will allow that to happen. And asking for the contact information of someone of the opposite sex is tantamount to a confession. Information on declarations of love will be quickly spread through girls and line groups. In the blink of an eye, the entire class will be made aware. In short, the exchange of contact information could proceed as in Figure 1. As for ID, admit feelings, entire class learns about confession, death. And so, in the worst case scenario, the consequence could be fatal.
I cannot. I absolutely cannot be the one to ask her. Shinomiya, you must be the one to ask.
President, you're waiting for me to ask you, aren't you? But that won't happen. I will not ask you, no matter what. Since I'm a girl, he's too embarrassed to ask me, because of the meaning it would imply.
War, that is the law of the world. One who wins and one who loses. One who kills and one who is killed. One who asks and one who is asked for their contact information. That is what decides who is superior.
Really? Just how far do you think I went to convince you to buy a phone? With this, I would finally be able to contact President outside of school. It would seem my plan has been a success, but this situation offers me the maximum possible benefit. Now I wonder what sort of face President will make when he comes to ask for my number.
Shinomiya, you have no intention of asking me. It would seem that as the man, the duty would fall upon me to ask. But I will not. If that's your game, then I have a card to play as well.
President, your profile picture.
Yes, it's a photo of me as a child.
So cute! You even had that glare when you were a kid!
You seem to be oddly fixated on my expression.
Huh? What's this you're holding?
Here, look. It ties to this.
Wow, so cute!
What are they talking about? A photo of President as a child? I don't care about...
But this is a little embarrassing. I should change it to another picture. I'll change it in 3 minutes.
What? He put a time limit on it? That coward! If he changes his profile picture, I'll never see that photo. But if I ask for his contact information, that would be the same as telling him. I want to be able to talk to you at any time. Wishing I had someone to talk to on days off. Hoping someone would send me a message before I fell asleep. Wanting to waste time chatting with someone late the night before a test. It's not like I've ever thought anything like that. How is everyone able to do this so casually? I can't understand it. I can't be as shamelessly honest as Fujiwara can. I am a lady. There is no way it would be proper for me to ask for a boy's contact information. It has to be President who asks for mine. I will not retreat. I'll have to pull out all the stops.
Kaguya?
President, you're so cruel.
A maiden's tears.
You're so cruel. How could you do that?
There is no special meaning to this word. But if one is called cruel, then they must have done something cruel.
So cruel.
It is a basic trait of humanity that they will accept such a vague statement as fact. In psychology, this is known as the Barnum effect. A technique used by women who fear their husbands have cheated on them.
I didn't mean to offend you. Here, you can see it too, if it'll make you feel better.
It's a trap!
Too late.
Perfect memory! Just a single glance sealed the president's profile image in Kaguya's brain. He had lost his only bargaining chip. No! Kaguya had taken an overwhelming advantage.
Now, President, I no longer have any reason to ask you for your ID. Now, come and ask me.
The longer I wait, the harder it will be. What should I do? Should I just ask her now and minimize the damage?
Shirogane desperately searched for a way out.
Then I'll just have to use that.
And now for the kill.
Realizing this, Kaguya moved to suppress him. And just before the decisive blow...
That's right! Kaguya has a flip phone, so she can't use Line. Talking about Line in front of her is really cruel. Gosh, she feels so bad!
She can't? You're rich! Just buy a new one!
I've had this phone since kindergarten. I can't just replace it so easily.
This is the story of the fruitless war of love and brains. Result of today's battle: mutual defeat.
Oh? Oh my. Oh my.
A love letter? So what does it say?
Well, it doesn't say anything like directly asking me to go out with him. He seems very passionate, though. He'd like to have a meal together.
Wow, so he's basically asking you on a date, right?
Sending a love letter to Shinomiya? What a fool. She barely even gives me the time of day, and compared to me, some ordinary boy may as well be a talking weed, not even worth being looked at. There's no way Shinomiya would see fit to engage with him.
So, are you going to go on the date?
Of course.
Have you lost your mind, Shinomiya? Agreeing to go out with some random boy when you don't even know what he looks like?
Regardless of his social standing or looks, it would be wrong for me not to respond in kind to his gesture of good faith. To be able to gather the courage to write such passionate words. I'm sure he must have fallen for me.
I cannot allow this. I have to stop Shinomiya. But how? If I stop her here. Don't go on a date with anyone but me, Shinomiya.
Oh? So you feel that strongly about me not being taken by any other man? How cute.
That would be the same as telling Shinomiya I like her. An act of confession. I absolutely must avoid that.
Kaguya, are you really going to go?
At first glance, Kaguya's actions may have seemed like the frivolous thoughts of a romantic young girl.
Yes, I'm quite looking forward to it. Of course I'm not going. Does this girl have flowers growing in her brain?
But she was bluffing.
For someone to ask me out on a date, he would have to be among the top in the country to be even worth considering. Going out with him would be nothing more than an act of pity on my part.
She would never go out with some random boy she had never met. Her goal was to get Shirogane to stop her. The war of love and brains. In matters of love, the absolute rule is that the one who falls in love loses. There is a balance of power between the ones who fall in love and the ones they fall in love with. a queen bee and a worker bee, a president and an employee, a king and a slave. To fall in love is to place your soul in servitude. To confess is to offer your very soul. With their pride, neither of these two can fathom committing such an act. They will use every means at their disposal to force the other one to be the one to confess.
Is there no natural method to stop her from going on this date? Think. There has to be something I can do.
Challenged intelligence.
It's worthless, President. Nothing short of you begging me with your head bowed low will cause me to stop.
Ingenious schemes. That is the war of love and brains. The constantly ongoing battle between these two.
Shinomiya, I couldn't help but overhear what you were talking about.
A plan floated into Shirogane's head.
As a student council president, I cannot condone impure relationships with the opposite sex.
An attack on her weak point, not offering his personal opinion, but that of the student council president. A skillful approach.
Oh? There would be nothing impure about it. Just a simple meeting over some food.
The teachers are the ones who decide that. They could even suspend you if they chose to do so. If you plan on going, then I will have no choice but to inform the staff.
Telling a teacher! While undoubtedly effective, anyone using such an underhanded move would immediately be branded a coward. But Shirogane was prepared to swallow his own sword. His honor meant nothing to him compared to stopping Shinomiya from going on this date. And his resolve hit home.
Would he actually do that? Then I will have to take the risk, even if he tells the teachers or my parents. I must press forward. I don't mind. Were this to eventually become true love, then I would gladly accept suspension, or even expulsion.
Expulsion?
For true love, I am prepared to offer my body and soul.
Her body and soul? Don't be ridiculous!
How is that ridiculous? This boy conveyed his love so passionately. It would be unjust to respond without the resolve to face expulsion.
How can you say that? Then, if I were to confess to you...
Supposing I were to do that, hypothetically speaking, then would you forget about that boy?
I suppose it would be possible.
Then you can't possibly call that true love, can you? There's no way something so fleeting that the mere idea of another boy would make you forget it could be true love. Just give up on this foolish idea.
I just said it was possible, not that it would happen.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's trying to stop me by acting like he's worried about me? Then I don't care anymore. I really am going. Unless you confess to me with tears in your eyes, I'm going. President?
I don't want to lose you to someone else. I don't want to see you get kicked out of school. I'll confess to you instead. I love you, Kaguya. I love you so much. No, don't leave me.
Okay. I won't go, so let go of me.
Result of today's battle. Due to causing someone to confess to her with tears in their eyes, Kaguya's loss.
Miss Kaguya. If at some point you were to find yourself in true love with someone, would you wait for that person to confess to you, like now? Or would you go to them yourself?
The war of love and brains. That is the battle of souls where each stakes their honor and pride.
If that time ever comes, then taking all risks into account, there would only be one logical course of action. Obviously, I would go...
Naturally.
I would go...
Naturally, reasons such as, I can't confess because it would be too embarrassing, or I might get rejected. Very obviously have absolutely nothing to do with it.
Who cares?
So, how's the super high-class coffee I got from my dad taste?
It's quite delicious. It has a rather unique flavor.
Yes, indeed. Would you be so kind as to pour me another cup?
Of course.
So, what kind of coffee is this?
What was it? Give me a second, I'll remember.
Here you go.
Thank you, Shinomiya. Freshly ground coffee really is perfect for desk work. And a bit of caffeine in the afternoon. This cup seems a bit dirty. Is this Shinomiya's lipstick? Does that mean that this is the cup Shinomiya was just using? Did she switch them by mistake? Well, I suppose even she has to make a mistake every once in a while, so something like this was bound to happen eventually. I'll just tell her. Really now, that was nearly an indirect kiss. An indirect kiss. Wait, what am I thinking? I have no interest whatsoever in an indirect kiss with Shinomiya. It's not like I like her or anything. So I am absolutely not thinking that I would want an indirect kiss with her.
In matters of love, the absolute rule is that the one who falls in love loses. In other words, the one who admits their feelings is the loser. To the two of them, the ideal love would be...
I've never particularly thought of you that way, but I suppose since you're so desperately in love with me, I may just decide to go out with you.
being able to look
How
down on the
cute.
other like so, from a position of absolute superiority. Neither of them will allow themselves to be the one to fall in love.
That's right. Stay calm. I have no interest in an indirect kiss with Shinomiya. I'll just calmly tell her that the cups were switched and get my own cup back.
At that moment, Shirogane's mind moved into action. Copernican Revolution!
No, there's no way Shinomiya would make a mistake like mixing up the cups. It must just be my imagination.
He fooled himself!
Why would I think that was lipstick? That must just be a glue stick that accidentally touched the cup. That has to be it.
His logic was flawless.
Well, I know how it feels to get caught up in my work. All I have to do is avoid the part where the glue stick touched. Nothing I can do about it.
Oh, I can't get this cap off. It must have gotten stuck because I haven't used it for a while.
His logic was destroyed!
No, it doesn't even have to be glue. It could just be a bit of soap that didn't get washed off. On the contrary, it's impossible to prove that it's lipstick. That would practically be a devil's proof. Then, there's no problem. No! I can smell shea butter! It's lipstick! Is there nothing else it could be? No other logical conclusion?
President's acting strange. He's just been staring at that cup for quite a while now. He can't possibly know that I switched the cups on purpose. Just a single cup is making him tremble so much. That proves that he likes me! True bliss. Watching him quiver during his coffee break is truly exquisite. Really now, to think that an indirect kiss could elicit such a reaction. An indirect kiss? Well, I don't have any interest in an indirect kiss with him, right? That would be so juvenile. But what is this bad feeling I'm getting?
Yes, Kaguya had intentionally switched the cups in order to bring about the possibility of an indirect kiss. And the only word to describe that action would be...
Perverted?
As perverted as licking the recorder of the boy one liked after school. The actions of a shameless slut.
Me? Kaguya Shinomiya? A pervert? I refuse to accept that!
Both parties sat frozen, their cups not moving an inch. And Secretary Fujiwara was still trying to remember what kind of coffee it was. Silence fell over the student council room. The two of them shared a single goal. Thus, there was only one logical course of action.
President?
Yes, so you've noticed it as well.
It seems our cups got switched somehow.
Yes, it seems so. But
Well, it doesn't really matter, does it?
there's no need to waste time switching them back.
Cooperation.
So much work.
A mutual agreement.
We don't even have enough time to leave our seats.
Once that stance had been taken, there was no need to resist. The hurdle of worrying about the indirect kiss had been removed. But an exchange of bodily fluids. Though indirect, a chill still ran down each of their spines.
Then,
What is this?
Touching our mouths to the cups at the same time feels even stranger
than an indirect kiss.
I remember. It's Kopi Luwak.
Kopi Luwak, a coffee made with undigested coffee cherries from the droppings of the Asian palm civet.
Why would you give us that?
We already drank a cup before you told us!
Huh? But you said it tasted good, didn't you?
Wisdom is the supreme part of happiness. Result of today's battle: mutual defeat.
Look! It's President Shirogane and Vice President Kaguya. They always look incredible.
If only the president were mine.
I'd even be okay with Kaguya.
What is this? It seems your worldly desires are making themselves apparent.
Principal!
Desire and lust are indeed necessary traits for one to have. But students of Tsuchiin Academy must display self-control. Just look at those two. Do the two of them appear lustful in any way to you? They are what every student of Tsuchiin should aspire to be.
When I defeat President, I'm going to do this and that.
Once I make Shinomiya confess to me, I am going to do such filthy things to her.
Oh? What's this?
Well, the principal just confiscated it from some students. He told us to dispose of it in accordance with the school rules regarding inappropriate reading material. No, I don't see why he couldn't do it himself.
Inappropriate reading material? That's so wrong! So rude! This country is so rude!
What is it? She seems incredibly flustered. Just what is in that magazine?
Does it have nude photos? With visible pubic hair? Shirogane suddenly seems unusually interested.
Well. A survey of when people had their first times. 34% answered in high school. I see.
They're lying! There's no way everyone would do that!
34%! In other words, 1/3. In a class of 30, 10 students will have had their first time. Statistically speaking, one of these three is likely to have their first time in high school.
Well, the only people who would answer a survey like this are the kind of people who would buy this kind of magazine, right?
Yes, sample selection is obviously biased. Can't possibly be that high in reality.
Yeah, you're right.
Really? I think it's quite accurate. Perhaps even a tad low.
If you think that, then have you already done it?
Yes, quite some time ago.
Oh, so the area code for Aomori is 017. I did not know that.
I would think it would be completely ordinary to do so before high school. One would have to be raised in a completely loveless environment otherwise. Don't you agree?
Well, I'd like to get a boyfriend sooner rather than later, but my father wouldn't let me.
Kaguya had intended to state a simple fact, but she detected impatience within the reaction of the others. Humans fundamentally become impatient if they feel they are falling behind those around them. And as a result of that impatience, they will come to believe that they must find a companion as quickly as possible. Thus...
Oh no, am I too late? I'm too late. I need a girlfriend. Shinomiya, go out with me.
Kaguya decided on her plan of attack for the day.
How ridiculous.
Oh, you're quite popular, aren't you, President?
Agitation.
But you don't have a girlfriend, do you?
Agitation!
No, you're right. I don't have a relationship with a special someone.
Right now. Right now! Acting like he had one in the past. An incredibly convenient falsehood to give the impression that one had just had a partner but broke up with them. Words that could give anyone, young or old, the impression of being loved. Yes, Miyuki Shirogane had zero experience with love. But that did not mean that he was not popular. He was, in fact, quite popular. But call it birds of a feather flocking together, or that strange people often find themselves among other strange people because he was the sort of man bizarre people fell for. He had never once had a partner.
Why am I so popular?
Thanks to this, even though he had no experience, he had gained the overpowering opinion of himself that he was popular.
It must be that my superior intelligence fascinates women and draws them towards me against their will. I am truly a sinful man.
Yes,
For
this
now.
man was an aberration possessing both virginity and bottomless self-confidence. A monster virgin!
So naturally, you have experience then?
But that monster had a weak spot. The fact that he was a virgin could not be changed.
Making up a lie is simple, but if I tell someone with experience that I have experienced myself, it would be like someone who knows nothing about movies trying to talk about movies to an experienced filmgoer. If I keep lying here, I've already done it.
Such an obvious fabrication. Were you really so embarrassed to have your purity revealed? How cute.
She would know, and she would mock me for all eternity. Well, I suppose that whenever I feel like it.
He took his bluff as far as he could.
I see. Though, I'd imagine you can just do it with your little sister whenever you please.
Indeed! Wait, no! The hell? What are you saying, Shinomiya?
She's your family. It wouldn't be strange at all, would it? I did it with a nephew of mine right after he was born. On camera.
That doesn't even make sense!
And now everyone's afraid of excess physical contact. Just a sign of the times, I'm sure.
No, it's you! It's a sign of the nobility!
What are you so upset about? Fujiwara does it all the time with her dog Pest, doesn't she?
You what?
No, I don't! Don't drag me into this!
I knew the Shinomiya family raised their children a bit strangely, but for her to be this twisted, to have such an utter lack of common sense and know so little about the world. Wait, to know so little about the world? Shinomiya, I'd like to confirm something. Are you aware of what the phrase first time means?
Please don't treat me like a child. I am a lady, and as such am well aware of these matters. A kiss, obviously. Really?
Kaguya Shinomiya! Being born into a Zaibatsu, she had been raised as a proper lady and been firmly protected from any sexual influences for 16 years. Her knowledge of sexual matters goes no further than kissing. Any further is, to her, on the level of an urban legend. She is the definition of a sheltered young girl. Naturally, she has no idea what a first time is.
Shinomiya.
President, let me handle this. Kaguya, when they say first time, they mean and do and put the thing that done animals and then already once you
16 minutes later.
What? That's not even legal until you get married!
I thought I was going to have a heart attack!
Result of today's battle. Due to her catastrophic lack of sexual knowledge, Kaguya's loss.
Really now, shouldn't unpacking equipment be the teacher's job?
It's important that we go through them. Ensuring the club budgets are used properly is our responsibility.
There certainly seems to be a lot of rather specialized equipment. Just looking at the brand names pains me. Is this a kendo loin guard?
When Miyuki Shirogane was in elementary school, on the night of the camping trip, he got thirsty and went to get a drink from the vending machine, and ever since, he has been paralyzed with fear at the sight of insects. A mere beetle is enough to cause him to faint, and when faced with a cockroach. But Shirogane bit through his own tongue to force himself to remain conscious.
That was close. I nearly passed out in front of Shinomiya. Thank goodness for the Akabane-style resuscitation. If she had seen me in such an unseemly state.
President, are you afraid of insects? There isn't a shred of masculinity in that. You might as well be a little girl. How cute.
My image would be utterly shattered. I cannot allow Shinomiya to learn of my entomophobia. I avoided fainting, but this enemy of humanity is still in front of me. There is only one solution. I must flee from this room without arousing Shinomiya's suspicion.
A smoky brown cockroach. No, that isn't it. Judging by the length of its legs, this is a liqueur tree cockroach, a Paraplaneta japana asahina. I read that they don't live in the Kanto region, so it must have been carried here in one of these boxes. They prefer the outdoors and are completely harmless, so there should be no reason for me to fear one. No, on the contrary, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance! There is only one proper reaction I may display here.
President! I'm scared!
Feminine power! It is completely natural for a woman to be terrified of insects and cling to a man for support. By doing so, they can initiate direct physical contact.
This may seem to be an action reserved for those with low IQs, but that is feminine power. President should start blushing and acting strangely right about...
He's not?
Why? How is this possible?
God, make that cockroach go somewhere else. Shirogane, pray to God!
I'm practically holding hands with him, and his expression isn't changing in the slightest. Impressive, President. You truly have monstrous self-control. If I do not cast aside my pride and shame, my feminine power will be no match for you. Then I must act like the prideless, shameless Fujiwara.
It's 3!
How about this?
President! Get rid of the roach! It's Kiwi!
Me? Get rid of it? No way! There's no way! But I cannot show weakness in front of Shinomiya. Then I have no choice. Very well. I will take care of it. My entomophobia is nothing more than a delusion brought forth from my mind. All are nothing, all are one, delusions and falsehoods, all be gone.
Shirogane prayed to Buddha!
Yes, I have no reason to fear it. Be purified! I will be borrowing this Kojima of the Kendo Club!
President, this cockroach is an outdoor creature. It won't multiply inside the school, so there's no need to kill it. You can just put it back outside.
Huh? But it's a cockroach.
Even an insect is a living thing. It would be such a shame if you killed it. How about that? A declaration overflowing with compassion. This will make him think even more of me. Now, my feminine power is at its max.
Shinomiya, you're making it harder for me than if I were to just kill it!
Shirogane thought even less of her!
Then how do you suggest I get it outside?
How about these?
Again, how do you...
Like so. Simple, isn't it?
How is that simple? Are you Masashi Miyamoto?
Damn this hyper-capable woman! Making that, of course I can do it, face! But I am a genius. I won the gold medal in bean carrying! As if there is anything Shinomiya can do that I cannot!
Bean carrying, a competition where slippery soybeans are moved from one plate to another with chopsticks. Younger people can use peanuts instead. I'll show you!
A second chance! I have to raise the amount of skin making direct contact to 40%. This time, for sure.
President! I'm scared!
Ow. President?
Shirogane fainted! The tension in every muscle in his body allowed him to remain standing rigidly upright. But...
Ow. President, I understand how you feel, but you don't need to grip me so tightly.
President! Hey! My chest! My chest!
Just when did I give you permission to go that far?
Ow!
What?
Where do you think you're grabbing?
Was I grabbing something?
Are you saying they're so small you didn't even notice?
No, the roach! Where did the roach go?
The roach? Are you saying that's how small they are?
Oh, it's a liqueur tree cockroach. Back to the forest you go. That way must be south.
You are truly a man among men.
Maybe I chose the wrong sample.
Result of today's battle. Due to being groped, Kaguya's loss.
love advice?
Yes, I don't know what to do. And I heard that you can ask the student council about things like this. So you're the only one who can help me.
Very well. It is my duty as the Student Council Vice President to resolve any troubles that the students may have. I'm sure our president would say the same thing. Please, come in and tell me what the matter is.
I want to know how to break up with my boyfriend.
That's 2 or 3 steps later than I thought you'd be asking about. A question about already having a boyfriend. There's no way someone like me, who has never once even gone on a date, can answer that.
I mean, you're so popular, Kaguya. You must know so much about love. I'm sure you got some great idea that'll help me.
You're hoping for a bit much, but a Shinomiya cannot retreat. I cannot tell her no here. I must weather this. Why is it that you want to break up with him?
Well, we only started going out recently. He suddenly confessed to me out of nowhere. And I said okay, in the heat of the moment, even though I barely knew anything about him. I'm not sure if I should stay with him or not. We haven't really done a single thing that lovers would do yet. And how do I say it? It feels like we're even further apart than we were before. So I feel like it would be better if I just apologized to him and we went our separate ways.
I see. So, in short, you've started going out, but still feel like you may as well be strangers. And you aren't sure if you have feelings for him or not. But since you did accept his confession, is it safe to say that you don't dislike him?
Of course, but I don't know if you could say that I like him either.
In that case, it may be a bit too early to decide that you want to break up with him. The possibility remains that you may have true feelings for him, doesn't it?
I guess.
Well, first, why don't you make a list of what his good points are?
You mean what I like about him?
No. Things that anyone would consider to be positive virtues. For example, if he's particularly serious, or if he's good at studying, if he's a hard worker, or if he's very kind, or if he helps people in trouble, or if he glares at you.
Wait, wouldn't him glaring at you be a bad thing?
Not at all. It means he's paying attention to you, and it's so cute.
So you like people who glare at you?
Forget that.
The only person I can think of around you who glares would be...
I'm sure you're just imagining things. Moving on. If you can find one good point, and if that lets you see him in a better light, then you should start to find all sorts of other good points. And before you know it, you'll find that you like him. A friend told me that. That's not coming from me.
Huh? It isn't?
It really isn't coming from me. I don't even have anyone I like.
But it really just sounded like...
Let me in on this conversation. You can't talk about romance without me. Just leave it all to the detective of love, Chika Fujiwara.
Fujiwara? Why are you out of breath?
Well, I was here earlier, but I had to run to the drama club room to get a hat and pipe.
Why on earth would you do that?
Your worries stem from not knowing how you truly feel about him, correct?
Yes.
Then, as a detective, I'll help you find this thing called love that you seem to have lost.
Where is this conversation even going now?
Now then, I want you to imagine him getting it on with another girl.
What is the point of this?
Come on, just do it.
I guess I don't really like the feeling that much.
Right? And that's jealousy. Imagining it gives you a bad feeling because you really do like him. That feeling is proof of love! So, Kashiwagi, that means that you really do have feelings for him. As long as you remember that, you should be okay.
Fujiwara. Okay, he confessed to me, so I should try and make things work for my end too. I don't think he's a bad person.
You're right, I do like him.
How is that a logical conclusion? I'm going to lose to someone who looks like that? If I lose to Fujiwara at this, my shame would be eternal! I have to make a bold declaration here.
Maybe I should try to talk with him more?
That's right. You need to create a balance. Perhaps you should use the Romeo and Juliet effect.
Romeo and Juliet?
The obstacle to Romeo and Juliet's love. Their parents' hate for each other gave them a great enemy, and thus common ground, and that served to deepen their love.
A great enemy.
It doesn't even have to be a person. You can just find something that you both disagree with.
But we don't have any sort of enemy like...
No, there is one enemy that every single person alive must face.
Who?
This society!
Society?
Uh-huh. Wait, I was thinking more along the lines of exams.
A war that will never end! The unyielding gap between the rich and the poor! There is truly no greater enemy!
I get it. So we just have to rebel against society together.
You're thinking on way too large a scale.
I get it now. I'll go get ready.
Godspeed!
How is that okay? Did we just create an anarchist?
She'll be fine.
Please help us raise money.
Thanks for your help!
See? It looks like they're both helping with charity. It's a great opportunity for them. The feelings of those who wish for peace? Maybe that is the truest form of rebelling against society.
What are you talking about? Oh? President?
Shinomiya?
Why are you here with them?
Well, I received their application to raise funds on school grounds. I informed them about all the formalities and procedures that would be required, and it ended up not working out very well. But it does seem they were serious about it, and watching two people who were inexperienced yet clearly eager to make a difference. Well, I just couldn't help but want to support them to the best of my meager ability. Really though, I'm not cut out for this type of work at all.
I suppose that's just one of your good points.
Result of today's battle. Kaguya's loss.
Do we really have to try out cosplaying?
Yes! People from our sister school in Paris are coming all this way. This is the absolute minimum we can do for them.
But what part of dressing up exactly counts as hospitality?
You don't get it? France is the biggest nation of cosplayers after Japan! Cosplay doesn't need words. There's no greater way to overcome the barrier of language and deepen our friendship!
But even so...
Oh, come on! You'll love it once you give it a try!
How have I been reduced to this? Meow. Like that?
So cute! See? Doesn't it look great on Kaguya, President?
Yes, cat ears are your time and Shinomiya is me, Fujiwara.
Yeah, right? Wait, what?
I'm saying that the time you brought was alone with Shinomiya and cat ears.
You're kind of scaring me.
Cat ears and girls. A natural union. In this world, there are objects which, when paired together, form combinations that are impossible to surpass. Clovers and bees, crocodiles and hummingbirds, avocados and soy sauce. These natural unions bring out the maximum potential of the individual objects. The vast majority of humans are cat lovers. Naturally, Miyuki Shirogane loves cats as well. Here, the first object is the graceful, beautiful woman known as Kaguya Shinomiya. And as her affinity with the second object is reflected in his eyes. So cute! A marriage!
Wait, no, I can't.
To anyone else, and of course to him as well, this was the perfect combination.
I cannot allow myself to think that Shinomiya is...
I can't! So cute! The result was that Shirogane grew excited.
I failed, but I can't let it show. I have to keep my face blank. Stay calm.
I've never tried on a costume like this before, so I don't know how it looks. Does it suit me?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose.
Ah, so cute!
No, I have to put on a strong face for when she looks at me. I need to calm myself and look the way I normally do.
Your face!
His reaction is too weak. This must not look good on me after all. I'm sure it would work better on someone with natural charm like Fujiwara. It makes no sense that I should be the only one to undergo this humiliation. You put one on too, President.
How do I put it? It's a bit much.
You're as blunt as always. Oh, that much is obvious. As if something like this would suit me.
Oh, how cute!
A marriage!
What? Huh? All I did was put cat ears on him! That's all I did? Huh?
To anyone else, and of course to her as well, this was the perfect combination.
This is incredible! It's like he became 3 times cuter! What do? I can't wipe this grin off my face! I cannot let him know that I think he looks cute!
What's the matter, Shinomiya?
Then since it's come to this... Oh, nothing at all.
I see.
She bit her tongue. She inflicted intense pain upon herself to stop the corners of her mouth from turning up. But it was not enough. Kaguya failed to realize that a fraction of a smile remained on her face.
Well, I suppose it's only natural that he looks cute. It's simply a variation of the adoring feeling one has for cats. It's not as if that carries any unusual meaning with it.
That face you're making, Shinomiya. Do you have something you'd like to say about my ears?
Oh no, not at all. I simply think they suit you quite well.
That face! Those eyes of staring at an insect. Eyes that don't even see you as human. Have I fallen so far? Do these look so bad on me that I may as well not even be human?
President's more of a cool type than a cute type, don't you think? Maybe we should try these demon horns instead.
Stop. Stop. Stop!
Huh? I'm sorry. You're both really scaring me today.
This adorableness must be recorded, but my phone's camera has terrible quality. Then, Fujiwara, would you be so kind as to take a photo of President?
Oh, okay.
So this image of him can be preserved for all eternity.
Her blackmailing face! She's going to use it to threaten me. If a photo of me like this were distributed throughout the school, my days as president would be over! Absolutely not!
Well, obviously not yet. Come on, you too, Kaguya.
Me too?
Her too?
Are you planning on sharing this photo?
Yeah, I'll send it to you online.
If she takes it, I will have a weakness.
But at the same time, this adorable existence will be preserved forever as data in my possession! Ah! 2 choices, each with equal merits and demerits. Then ensure you take a good photo. Shirogane chose cuteness, a choice he would ordinarily never make.
I am. I'll get the best one I can.
Take it in 4K!
Okay.
She wants that clear of an image to threaten me with?
But to think it would look so good on him. No, my mouth is becoming loose again.
She looks even cuter up close, damn it! I have to keep the muscles in my face as stiff as I can!
Guys, can you try to smile a bit?
No.
Huh?
I need to be closer!
Close enough to burn this cuteness into my memory!
Why are you glaring at each other? That's it, you two! If you're going to fight, this ends here!
What was I doing?
I feel like I was possessed by something.
Cat ears are scary!
Result of today's battle. Fujiwara's loss. The use of cat ears in the student council room was unanimously banned. The story so far. The student council is preparing for a meeting with their sister school from Paris.
And the party's on Monday, so we need to get ready for that on Sunday.
We'll need someone to be in charge of that.
And someone has to buy some souvenir candies. We'll need 2 people for that.
2?
Even if the candies themselves are small, the amount will add up if we buy enough for everyone there. We'll also need to buy several other things.
Ah, I see.
Which means giving up the weekend to go shopping. That sounds incredibly tiresome. I really don't want to do it. I don't want to stop for tea at all. I wouldn't want it to get late and force us to get dinner somewhere, and heaven forbid our hands should touch. Such a pain. If only someone else would volunteer. Right, Shinomiya?
Yes, I suppose.
Well, we'll be in trouble if no one does it.
Oh, well, if you say so, then I suppose...
Oh, then let's play a game, and whoever loses has to go.
A game?
Yeah, the banned word game.
The banned word game. As the name implies, the player who says their banned word first is the loser. A simple game.
let's give it a try. We each write down a word like this and give it to the person on the right. The word you get is your banned word. You hold it so you can't see what it is.
So I don't know what my word is, then?
So you get how it works?
Yes, it's quite simple. Huh?
Okay then, let's play for real.
We each give one to the person on our right, which means I should think of a word that Fujiwara is likely to say. If I were trying to win, that is. We need 2 people to go shopping, which means that second place and third place will go. Well, if you think about it, you'll need a man to do all the heavy lifting, so it makes sense that I should go. And we'll need someone who knows what sort of things to buy for the French students, so Shinomiya with her knowledge of Japanese sweets would be perfect for that. That will be the most efficient way. From an efficiency standpoint, the best option would be for me and Shinomiya to go. So this is how the game should end. Fujiwara needs to win, and I need to defeat Shinomiya. In other words, to make sure Fujiwara will win, I need to think of a word that she would never say. There's no way she would say this. The match is decided.
Alright, is everyone ready? Yo, let's get started, yo!
Huh? Fujiwara, what are you...
This band word game gonna be boring if I just talk normally, yo! So I'm gonna mix up the way I talk a bit, yo! You know, like that. Get it? Oh, did you write something like that, yo? Too bad, man!
No, I'm just worried that she might actually say it now. I was surprised that she's pretending to rap, but she isn't even good at it. Don't look at her like that. You don't need to do this. This is really bad. She might actually say it. She might actually say dog now. I need to hurry and finish this fast.
I got to write your banned word, Kaguya, yo. Now just what did I write, yo? Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey.
Don't stay quiet! In this game, the one sure way to win is to not say anything. An extreme case of silence being golden.
Is she planning to just sit this out to win? Has she not realized what's at stake? Or has she realized and just doesn't want to go shopping with me? Shinomiya, the game isn't going to go anywhere like this. At the bare minimum, you should talk enough to keep up a conversation.
I suppose so. Very well.
Now, how should I handle this?
Natural reactions. That person would do this. That person would say this. People will react in specific ways to specific scenarios. And by making those scenarios occur, one can cause others to say those specific words. But how do I get her to say that word?
Why do I have the feeling of despair? Well, it shouldn't be too difficult. But if I can make her say this, then what was the point of the last 6 months? Or I suppose I could just bring the conversation towards something she likes. But now that I think of it, I have no idea what Shinomiya likes. Her hobbies, her favorite things. She's shrouded in mystery. I wonder if Fujiwara had some plan when she picked this word. I guess I'll pass things on to her. Fujiwara, do you have any things you hate?
Shirogane decided that in order to make the topic of love come about more easily, he would ask Fujiwara a question about hate.
Something I hate. Yeah, I hate people who can't read the mood, yo.
Come again?
Everyone always says they like me, yo. But when they start talking about love, they never let me in on the conversation, yo. It's like stepping on a landmine, yo.
Maybe you should choose more reliable friends.
So I always feel left out, yo. I just feel like I cause trouble for everyone. It makes me so sad. That's what I hate, yo.
Fujiwara. You can't always let yourself think that you're causing people trouble. You just say exactly what's on your mind. And you've helped so many people because of that.
Kaguya? Really? You really don't hate me?
Of course not. I love spending time with you.
Gotcha, yo! Huh?
Natural reactions. Fujiwara had anticipated the kind and caring Kaguya's natural reaction, and she had acted upon it.
Wow, that was low. I had no idea Fujiwara could do something like that.
I was just being honest. Was everything you just said a lie? Not a lie, a bluff, yo. You think I'd ever get left out of that, yo? When that rain come down and that talk go down, I is there, yo.
But now that this has happened, the rest will be easy. I just have to let myself walk into all of her traps and lose. and everything will go as planned. But
Well, it must be nice to never have to care about anything.
is that really how it is? A bluff only works because it has a bit of truth mixed in with it. So, just how much of that was a lie? Were those words a feeling left out? Those eyes? Just lies? This is nothing more than a guess. Nothing more than a hunch. But if by some 1 in a million chance it turns out to actually be true, then it would be wrong for me to lose this match on purpose. I will not hurt others for my own gain. That is the code that I live by. Only thinking of myself and throwing the match. That would benefit me, but it would also push her to the side. Going shopping with Shinomiya may seem alluring, but I will not betray my code. Fujiwara, I'm going to get serious now.
Gotcha, yo!
Huh?
I did it! I beat President! Yay! Yay!
Natural reactions. People will react in specific ways to specific scenarios. And predicting those is the key to winning this game. The banned word game is one that tests how well you understand the other players.
Going shopping. Well, I suppose I don't have a choice since I lost. I'll go and buy the candies then.
Okay, have fun, yo!
Oh no, I lost.
Result of today's battle, Shirogane's loss. To be continued in the heart-pounding shopping trip chapter.
Well then, I'll work out the logistics for tomorrow's shopping trip after I get home.
Yes, until then.
Bye!
Hayasaka.
Yes, Miss Kaguya. Let's return home.
Shuchin Academy second year, Shinomiya Family Valet, I, Hayasaka. The Hayasakas have served the Shinomiyas for generations and have gained their trust. I, Hayasaka, supports Kaguya in her high school life, having been personally assigned to enter Shuchin along with her. She has been a part of Kaguya's life for 10 years, ever since they were children, and is one of the few people around whom Kaguya's amiability is not an act.
What to do?
About what?
If he's going to decide what to do for the shopping trip after he gets home, that would imply that he's going to contact me after he gets home, right?
Yes. So he should be contacting you soon, shouldn't he?
What to do? The day President bought a smartphone, we exchanged numbers. No matter how long I wait, he hasn't contacted me even once! I haven't received a single message from him!
The first text. The act of sending the initial message is equivalent to declaring that, I want to talk to you. It is an appeal to win one's favor. The amount of middle school boys who upon receiving the first text think,
Maybe she likes me.
is proof of its power. Which party sends the first text is a key factor in determining the balance of power.
It's just a text.
Well, he certainly isn't going to text me before 9:45.
How can you give such a specific time?
You see, the median time for when high school students go to bed is between 11:30 and midnight. I myself go to sleep at around 10. In other words, sending a text after 10 would be abnormal. President would aim to be as close as possible to that cutoff. And directly before or after the evening news at 9:52 would be much too suspicious. Until then, I won't have any contact with him.
Looking forward to tomorrow.
What are you doing?
Well, I thought that if you don't want to text him, I could do it for you.
No, it can't come from me.
You're so stubborn. It's perfectly normal in this day and age for girls to be the ones to send texts or confess. You do like President Shirogane, don't you?
This again? Let me be perfectly clear. I certainly do not hate President.
Then,
However, that is simply my respect for him as a person. I am aware that he possesses certain qualities which I lack, and due to that, I have taken an interest in him. But those feelings are most certainly not love.
then what if you were to start dating your secretary? I take it you would have no problem with that whatsoever.
No! I just don't want Fujiwara to get taken by President. She's my dear friend! Huh? Is it from President?
From your dear friend, I take it. If you really care that much, then
In that instant, Hayasaka had an epiphany. Kaguya was a girl who lived by rules which she imposed upon herself. In this case, the rule was that she would not send the first text. To cause her to break that rule would be next to impossible. But every rule has a loophole.
Miss Kaguya, if you can't text him, why don't you just call him?
Call him?
He must be expecting a text as well. You can take advantage of his carelessness and deliver a surprise attack.
Carelessness? Surprise attack? Well, that would...
It's a flawless plan. Now to dial before she actually thinks that one through.
Did you just say something?
Here you go.
Huh? Hey, wait! I'm not ready yet!
President Shirogane is about to pick up.
Hello?
This is Shinomiya. President?
This is Miyuki's father.
Hello, sir. Is, President, Shirogane there?
My name is also Shirogane.
No, I mean... Miyuki.
Oh, my son? Miyuki! There's a girl on the phone for you!
You got a call from a girl, bro?
What? Dad, you can't just answer other people's phones! It's me.
This is Shinomiya.
Oh, Shinomiya. Sorry, my father's just that kind of person.
I wanted to call about the shopping trip tomorrow. Is now a good time?
Yes, I'm just taking a bath now, so I can talk.
A bath?
Can you hear me all right?
Doesn't that mean he's naked? You're speaking with a naked man right now, Miss Kaguya.
I'll call you back.
No, there's no problem. My phone's waterproof.
There's quite a large problem.
Does meeting at 11 in front of the Hachiko work for you?
Yes.
For the candy, Tokyo Hands is right there.
Okay.
Well, that should be it.
Yes, you're right.
Alright, see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, Shinomiya.
Wait, huh? Was he saying something? Should I call him again? Oh, what if it was nothing? I'm going to sleep. Huh?
I got cut off at the end of our call. I just wanted to say that it's going to be cold tonight, so dress warmly when you sleep. Good night.
Well, you got it. The first text.
Result of today's battle. Kaguya's victory. The next day.
It looks like Shibuya Station is flooded. You should tell President Shirogane that you won't be able to make it. That being said, I've prepared all the items you were planning to buy today, so you have no need to worry.
I'm going.
Huh?
President is waiting for me! I have to go!
I'm afraid I can't allow that.
She can't come. But I did get her to text me. Well, I suppose that's good enough for today. Good thing my phone's waterproof.
Heart-pounding date chapter, end.
We did it! With only 3 days to prepare.
Excellent work, everyone. I realize it was a rather sudden request, but you've done a splendid job.
This much we can do. But next time, please try and give us more than 3 days' notice. I hate to have to place such a burden on my fellow council members.
Very well, very well. Now, do enjoy yourselves.
It seems we managed to get through all this unscathed.
Indeed. These French students have quite the interest in Japan, and all of our students who are studying French can enjoy this party with them.
Do you speak French, Shinomiya?
Oh, no, I'm afraid it's not something I'm particularly good at. Do you?
Comment allez-vous, mademoiselle? Je m'appelle Miyuki Shirogane.
Oh, I suppose I shouldn't have expected anything less of you, President. It seems we won't be needing a translator.
Well, I started learning once I heard the French students would be coming to visit. I only had time to go over a small phrase book, sadly. I haven't had much of a chance to practice.
Oh, don't be so humble.
Bonjour. Merci beaucoup pour votre invitation.
C'est nous qui vous remercions de trivial décision. Nous ferons tout notre possible pour que vous gardiez un souvenir impatiable durant votre séjour parmi nous. Si vous avez besoin de quoi que ce soit à hésiter, posez-nous le faire savoir.
Je vous remercie.
She lied! How is that not something you're particularly good at? Now I'm embarrassed for taking pride in what I learned from a phrase book. You seem rather proficient.
Oh, not at all. It's quite difficult to match the native pronunciation. One rarely uses nasal vowels in Japanese, so I simply can't get them to come out right.
Nasal? What? Fujiwara, I feel we may be a tad out of place here.
La plupart des contenus japonais sont focalisés sur le marché domestique.
Fujiwara, you speak French?
Yep, just a bit though. My mom used to be a diplomat, so I've known a bunch of languages ever since I was a kid. It even got to the point where my Japanese started to get kinda bad.
Wait, if everyone here is either from France or a student studying French, does that mean that I'm the only person here who doesn't speak French?
Total isolation.
What should I do if everyone finds out that I'm the only one?
The president of the Japanese school doesn't know French?
Everyone else here does, but he's the only one who doesn't?
He must just not be too smart.
Comme c'est mignon.
No, as the representative of the Japanese school, I cannot allow myself to look like an international fool! Calm down. It's not like all I did was read through one phrase book one time. I may not be able to speak it on Shinomiya or Fujiwara's level, but I should be able to at least carry on a basic conversation. I'll be fine.
Enchanté.
Enchante, mademoiselle. Je m'appelle Miyuki Shirogane, et suis président du conseil de l'Eris dans celui-ci.
Oh, je suis très intéressée par la culture japonaise et je souhaite faire mes études au Japon un de ces jours. J'avoue que la distance qui me sépare de la France me fait peur, mais je suis sûre que ce sera très intéressant et surtout très...
Please talk in Japanese!
Listening power. Shirogane had only one French phrase book. All he could do was listen for one of the words he had learned. To him, the conversation appeared like this.
I can't understand a word she's saying! But I can't give up. I am a man who has been trained in Japan's storied culture of reading context. Body language, nuances in speech. I don't care what, I just need something!
L'origami, n'est-ce pas?
She just said origami. I know I heard it! I won't let this chance escape!
Oh.
Bon voyage! Did I do it? Am I safe? No, this is still bad. I need to get out of here fast.
Shirogane, have you given any thought as to why I only asked you to plan this party 3 days ago? Your achievements are truly spectacular, but they alone do not prove you have what is needed to be the student council president. I must confirm whether or not you are someone to whom this school can be entrusted. You have cleared the first hurdle of preparing this party, but now the true test begins. Betsy?
Yes.
Do not hold back. That boy over there, Miyuki Shirogane, cut him down with everything you have.
You sure?
French School Student Council Vice President, Betsy Beltois. It is said that her tongue will one day kill someone. She boasts a stellar 2 consecutive victories in the French debate meet. She uses quick thinking and logic to deny even her opponent's most basic way of thinking, leaving them with no means of escape as they dig their own graves. She has earned the name Betsy, the Wound-Licking Dagger. Not a single person has withstood her verbal assault.
Let me see what you are made of, Monsieur Shirogane.
Bonjour.
Oh, yes, hello.
C'est bon.
Oui.
Quelle belle position.
Oui, je vois.
Oui, ça c'est parfait.
Haha, exactement. Yep.
Miyuki Shirogane! He isn't batting an eyelash against such a horrible verbal beating. He's just laughing it off with a smile. I would be writhing on the floor covered with vomit by now. But he is retaining his composure without a single indication otherwise. If I didn't know better, I would say he hasn't even the slightest idea what she's saying.
My attacks aren't working. I refuse to believe this. He's just bluffing.
What was that? You. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't speak Japanese.
Shinomiya?
President? No, this isn't what it looks... I just stepped on a landmine. I'm going to be killed.
I'm sorry, it's okay.
Japanese women are scary.
What on earth were they talking about?
I can't believe I said those things.
Result of today's battle, Japan's victory!
You're mad at me, aren't you? I said such horrible things. I was like how I used to be, wasn't I?
As I told you, I've only just learned the very basics of French. I can't understand things like slang at all. So, I haven't the slightest idea what it was you said. If you didn't want me to hear it, you may as well just pretend I didn't. But I am aware that you were angry because I was being insulted. Thank you.
President. It's you saying things like that. It makes me follow you, President.
Huh? What? What did you say?
That's a secret.
Hey! You can't do that! Now I have to know!
I'm not telling.
What did she say?
That wasn't French.
Result of today's battle, due to being able to share their respective weaknesses, mutual victory.
The seasons, they are a-changing! Everything's been great lately. Just being able to change into our short-sleeved uniforms makes me super happy!
Well, thanks to everyone's combined efforts, the exchange party was a resounding success. Thank you very much for your assistance. I mean it.
No, thank you.
The agenda for today was to put the post-event affairs in order, but it seems Treasurer Ishigami has already finished that, meaning we have nothing in particular we need to do. Taking how hard we've worked over the last few days into account, I move that we take today off.
Yay! You should call the car to pick you up then, Kaguya.
Well, the car that comes to pick me up had a flat tire today, so it won't be able to come. I'll have to walk.
Huh? Oh, will you be okay? You won't get kidnapped? The rain will wash away all the proof, so today would be the perfect day for someone to try that, wouldn't it?
Please don't say such worrisome things.
I'd walk back with you, but I have something to do today.
Just the thought is more than enough for me.
Shinomiya is going to be walking home today.
And I can use that. When the seasons change, the rain begins. While the rain and humidity cast an aura of gloom over the season, there is an event that can occur here as well. A shared umbrella! Two people standing under one umbrella. A special event that forces a man and woman to literally become closer to each other. And the rainy season is the perfect time for a shared umbrella event to occur.
How foolish. How profane, even. To force yourself under one umbrella. Umbrellas are manufactured with the purpose of being used by one person. But I must admit that this act of sharing an umbrella carries some significance to it.
In matters of love, among the most fearsome topics is that of summer magic. A summer of love. Those who wish for this and get together directly before summer starts, only to find themselves apart before the season ends, number too many to count. Thus, as summer vacation drew near, students began to evaluate those of the opposite sex. And of course, Shirogane was at the top of many lists. The act of a shared umbrella was therefore meant to show a display of intimacy. It would remove him as a potential candidate for the summer. An extreme measure to show that he had been taken.
It's raining quite hard.
Yes, even though it wasn't raining at all this morning.
Generally speaking, there is only one sure path to a shared umbrella. 1. A stands alone, having forgotten their umbrella. 2. B sees A and offers to share their own. In other words, it is required that the other party must have forgotten their umbrella. Once this condition has been met, the rest follows quite simply.
Then we should go home.
Yes, indeed.
But...
Oh.
Shoot, I forgot my umbrella.
I don't have an umbrella on me. Whatever shall I do?
A clash! A shared umbrella event begins with one party forgetting their umbrella. But if both parties forget, then no development will occur, and they become nothing more than two people who have forgotten their umbrellas.
You forgot yours too, Shinomiya?
Yes, it must have slipped my mind since I'm so used to having a car pick me up. What about you?
Oh, I simply forgot to look at the weather forecast. I never imagined we'd have such bad weather today.
Of course, they were both bluffing. Both of them were carrying umbrellas in their bags.
What do I do? Should I say that I really do have an umbrella? But if I do that...
Oh? Was that little lie of yours an attempt to get under the same umbrella as me? Really now? How cute.
I can't. Taking out his umbrella would expose the significance behind his lie. It would lead directly to the fact that his objective had been a shared umbrella. Simply by looking at the balance of power, it would be a clear loss.
No, wait. If they knew they wouldn't be able to send a car, someone at her house would definitely have made sure she had an umbrella. There's no way they wouldn't have.
Oh, I know, President. There's an umbrella in that bag of yours, isn't there? But you lied because you were too embarrassed to be the one to ask.
The conditions for victory had changed. The winner would be the one who could expose the other's lie.
Say, Shinomiya, speaking from a practical viewpoint...
Shirogane was the first to make a move.
If the car that was going to come and pick you up had a flat tire on a rainy day, would someone who puts as much forethought and planning into things as you really forget their umbrella? Are you sure you don't have one?
Is there something you're trying to say?
Oh, not at all. I don't have enough information to prove her lie. I can't deliver the decisive blow yet.
Well, I'd say you put just as much planning into things yourself, President.
How so?
Just now, you said that you forgot to check the weather forecast, didn't you? Doesn't that strike you as odd?
What's so odd about it? Even I have days when I forget things.
Don't you always ride your bicycle to school?
Yes, so?
Then, why did you take the train today? Your bicycle stands out quite a bit. I didn't see it in the rack today.
What?
Now, why would you do that? No, now that I think about it, it makes perfect sense. If I ride my bike, I can't hold my umbrella. If it rains, I will get wet. It's going to rain today, so I'll take the train. A perfectly logical train of thought. I know it's going to rain today because I looked at the weather forecast. Anyone would come to the same conclusion if that were the case. President, didn't you forget to check the weather today? Then why on earth did you decide to take the train to school? You really did check the weather forecast, didn't you? So you decided not to take your bicycle. You, who saves money whenever you can, decided to take the train. Then everything makes sense. Well, everyone makes mistakes. Perhaps you simply convinced yourself that you had forgotten it.
A difference in preparation.
President, would you mind checking your bag?
One of them had clearly prepared more for this than the other. Not even an hour had passed since Shirogane had drafted his shared umbrella plan. There was no way it would stand up to close scrutiny. Kaguya, on the other hand, had poked a hole in the car's tire with an owl, checked the bike rack, looked at the weather forecast, and hung Teru Teru Bozu dolls upside down. She had an overwhelming lead in planning. And of course, she had prepared for this as well.
Now, to finish this. Well, I suppose I have no choice but to walk home in the rain.
Did you forget your umbrella, Kaguya? I had a spare in the classroom, so you can take it. Be more careful next time, you silly head, you! See ya tomorrow!
I was so close! Just one more push! How is she always there at the worst possible time? Now what? My only option is to say it myself now. Here, come on under. Why should I have to ask him? He should be the one coming to me with his head lowered begging to be let in. I suppose I don't have a choice. So would you like to share? But I can't act like that with an umbrella that isn't even mine. Take it.
Huh?
Take the umbrella! Do what you want with it!
Huh? I can't. That belongs to Secretary Fujiwara.
It'll be a double loan!
No, that's not how it... Then... we can both borrow it. How about that?
I guess I don't have a choice.
Result of today's battle. Draw.